to Paradise Jam. NCAA on a Paradise land. From there and far, them a travel all and pick up. Experience a beautiful white sand. So, Paradise Jam in the Virgin Island. Paradise Jam in the Virgin Island. Paradise Jam in the Virgin Island. Mr. Big things are going on.
The final game day in Paradise. It is the 2023 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam Championship game. Third-ranked Colorado taking on 10th-ranked NC State. Both teams come in 6-0 and unbeaten. And both teams with a top 10 victory already. As we welcome you to St. Thomas Island on campus of the University of the Virgin Islands in the Sports and Fitness Complex. He's the coach, Kevin Lehman. I am Brad Wells. Thank you for joining us today. And Coach, you left the beach early for this one. I mean, you're ready to go here. You've got the title game here, the Island Division. Both teams will get their second top 10 test of the season. We're still in November.
But both teams come with huge wins on their resume, and this is another resume builder. Size, quickness, shooting ability, they have them both, and depth. This is a game that could have huge ramifications when it comes NCAA tournament time as far as seeding and hosting. These teams are ready to go. They've been waiting for this game all week.
They say the dance begins in paradise. Well, hey, this is a great warm-up. Let's take a look at a couple of key players for both of these teams. For Colorado, let's go with Erinette Vonleh. She does a ton from that 5 spot for the Buffs.
What she does better than anybody is run the court, great speed end to end, the soft hands, ability to finish. Right there, rim running will bury the defenders. That's how she scores a lot of her points. Very efficient player, 70% from the field, over 70% from the free throw line. This is the 2023 Pac-12 most improved player, and she may be up that award again. That's how good she is. They run the offense through her in the high post. Fantastic passer.
Coach for the Wolfpack, Isaiah James, 2 years ago, all ACC freshman team. This year, finding another gear.
Keep an eye on this lefty. Can knock down the 3-ball like she's knocking down dominoes. You got to find her on the perimeter. She can change a game quickly. What I call an 80, 50, 40 player. She's 80% from the line, 50 from twos, over 40 from threes, coming off a 13-point game with Cincinnati. She leads the Wolfpack with just under 17 points a game.
All right, let's take a look at some keys to the game. Let's go back to Colorado. Coach, they have forced a lot of turnovers down here.
They excel, over 12 steals per game, a plus 6.5 in points on turnovers. Can they do that against a very good backcourt for NC State? We saw the inside game of Vonleh. They also have an outside game. They're going to play inside-outside and knock down some threes. And one of the things J.R. Payne said about this tournament, I need my bench to step up. Their bench has stepped up in a huge way.
All right, give me 3 keys for NC State in this top 10 battle.
Transition defense will be huge in this game, and they get back to what they call the pack line defense. They really shrink the court. Ball security, cannot turn over the backcourt. One of the best free throw shooting teams in the country, and they get there a ton.
All right, we jump it up, and we are underway. Colorado, the opening possession. Here's a look at your starting 5 for the Buffaloes. Sherrod Sadler really make that backcourt go. Foreman, Miller, and Vonleh. Colorado on the inbounds. Foreman gets an open look from 3, and that's rebounded by Sanaya Rivers. She's on the Naismith Trophy preseason watch list, and you see your starting 5 for NC State: Baldwin, Collins, James, Hayes, and Rivers. And Rivers misses the opening shot attempt for NC State.
Sadler matched up on Rivers, giving up some inches.
2 good guard courts, 2 good players down inside. Here's an illegal screen that goes on Erinette Vonleh. Foul number 1 goes on Colorado. As you see, NC State head coach Wes Moore in year number 11 for the Wolfpack, over 800 career victories.
And has had tremendous success on the recruiting trail.
248 wins at NC State. Here's Rivers from three. No, offensive rebound to Baldwin. Now James drives. Vonleh with the block. Here comes Colorado in transition. Sadler along the baseline, and Colorado will reset.
Vonleh talking to her guard. She wants to make sure he does not get a second foul on a screen.
Quay Miller misses that three-point attempt. Knocked one in yesterday against Kentucky. Here's Hayes. She's been absolutely fantastic for NC State in this tournament. Had the first double-double and a season-high 16 points and a career-high 12 rebounds against Cincinnati. Vonleh going to work. Left it short.
Vonleh having some trouble with the size of Baldwin.
And Baldwin in transition. NC State takes advantage, having numbers.
We talked about the rim running ability of Vonleh. That time we saw it from the River Baldwin. Transition baskets may be the difference in this game.
Vonleh shot too strong. Here's Sadler. She's going to get whistled for the offensive foul. Taking the charge, Isaiah James.
James really moving well with her feet. Good start here for the Wolfpack, and a good look at J.R. Payne.
Your number 8 leading Colorado has her Buffaloes ranked 3rd in the country after opening the season with a victory over number 1 LSU.
An experienced team that was in the Sweet 16 of last year's NCAA tournament.
Baldwin getting hounded. Here's James now. Over to Collins. 10 on the shot clock. James thought about the three. There's Rivers, left side. Hayes beats the clock and knocks it in. NC State up 7-0.
Sherrod got in the gap and left Hayes open for the kick-out three.
Foreman lost it. Rivers with the takeaway. NC State gonna run it. Nice dump off Collins. Oh, missed the lay-in.
J.R. Payne may need a timeout. NC State off to a fantastic start. They've scored inside and outside. Vonleh has been neutralized early in this game.
Colorado now 0 for 5. They've gotten some pretty good looks. Here's ahead to Collins, and that goes out of bounds. Substitution for Colorado coming onto the floor. Kendall Wetta, junior guard, the season high 14 points against Cincinnati, and Maddie Nolan, a first-year Buffalo.
Wetta makes things happen at the defensive end for the Buffs. Quick hands, forces turnovers, energizes the game.
Had 14 points on Thursday in the win against Cincinnati. 11 points yesterday against Kentucky. Under 10 on the shot clock for Colorado as Miller drives, blocked by NC State. Collins a catch and shoot three in transition. And Baldwin lost the rebound out of bounds. Colorado gets it back.
Wes Miller, or Wes Moore telling his team, we've got to get a good shot. Didn't like the quick trigger that time by Collins. Play inside out, the Buffs.
Baldwin on her back. Vonleh shot up, too strong. Here comes James off the rebound. Wants to attack the rim, hits the brakes. Baldwin, the jumper from the free throw line. NC State, a 9-0 run to start the game, and there's the timeout from Coach Payne. The Wolfpack looking to pull the upset in Paradise. First quarter, all NC State.
Off to a great run. They've scored in, they have scored out. Baldwin with a great start. There's the kick out. Baldwin with 4. That's her season average. NC State up by 9. Baldwin came in this tournament averaging 4 games. She's already got 4. She's been averaging 10.5. Sherrod gets the mid-range jumper. The guards for Colorado are not great three-point shooters. They can get to 17 feet.
Sherrod made her first 3 of the season yesterday. She's just 1 for 13. This is her game. Penetrate, kick. Vonleh with the finish. She's on the board.
That is also the Buffs game. They've got to beat the defense up court. This pack line defense is going to be difficult for Colorado to solve that puzzle.
Vonleh averages 18 points, almost 6 rebounds per game. Here's Baldwin in the lane, and a 3-second violation is called. Colorado comes up with a stop.
Baldwin's got to make a move quick or flare it out to the weak side. She's got shooters around her in James and Hayes.
Miller kicks to the corner, now calls for it inside. Working underneath, steps through a double team. Shot rolls off the rim, Baldwin aboard.
We'll use that give and go cut and post Mimi up quite often.
It's a throw ahead to Madison Hayes, the senior out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, with the basket.
This game is going to be about transition offense and transition defense. NC State running the ball up the court. Colorado have their heads turned.
Sherrod guarded by Sanaya Rivers.
You know, packed in that defense is always the white jersey at 17 feet.
Sherrod gets it to go over top of the 6'1" Rivers.
Sherrod can get it close enough where she can make it.
On the season, 51% shooting from the floor despite the poor three-point shooting percentage in the first 6 games.
A lot of those shots come out of quick transition. There's the ball movement.
Miller traveled with it. Substitution for Colorado. Charlotte Whitaker, 6'3" graduate senior from New Zealand, into the game as Vonleh gets a breather. For NC State, Zia James will get a rest. Zoe Brooks, freshman guard, runs the point here for NC State. The freshmen for the Wolfpack have been dynamite down here.
It is one of the best recruiting classes in the nation, and they have performed in this tournament, especially that player right there that you just mentioned, Zoe Brooks.
To the free throw line goes Mimi Collins. The first free throw is good. 9-0 run to start the game for NC State.
NC State has this nice blend of youth and experience. Westmore's taken the 6th straight NCAA tournament bids.
It's a 7 seed in 2023. Another 20-win season last year for Coach Moore. Here's Miller, gets an open look from the outside. And the long rebound out to Weta.
Weta gives you second chance opportunities.
Nolan misses the 3.
The Buffs have had some good looks, but not able to cash in.
This is going to be a 3 for Brooks. And Sherrod the rebound. Both teams like to play that fast pace. Will get out in transition and go.
Who can get back and get the ball stopped in transition will win this game.
Miller, catch and shoot 3. That's no good. Colorado 0 for 6 from three-point land.
Wade Miller's been settling for jump shots. I'd rather see her on the post. Really good matchup here between Miller and Mimi Collins. Their games are almost carbon copies.
Rivers guarded by Weta. And Rivers' shot is short. Here's the throw ahead.
Take tough shots.
And Weta, through contact, no whistle. Rivers comes away with the stop. Here's the dump inside. Collins working against Miller. And a jump ball is called underneath.
Both these teams, the Wolfpack and the Buffs, do similar things in transition. There's the tie-up. The ball out of bounds underneath their rim for Wolfpack. Let's see what they draw up.
And for Colorado, Tania Sadler re-enters. Frida Foreman back on the floor, and Sarah Rose Smith in the game for the first time here in this top 10 matchup. Number 3 Colorado and number 10 NC State. Both teams 2-0 in their trip to the Paradise Jam thus far. River Baldwin with that basket, a season-high 11.6 rebounds against Kentucky. That was the opener for NC State, an 84-55 win. Then the Wolfpack won 79-45 over Cincinnati. For Colorado, Foreman steps out of bounds. A 77-60 win over Cincinnati on day one. Yesterday, taking care of Kentucky 96-53. Vonleh with 19 points yesterday.
Baldwin having a great tournament for the Wolfpack. Double figures in each game.
Baldwin underneath draws the foul. And this is on Vonleh, and it is. That will be number 2 on Aronette Vonleh. And Quay Miller, just a short breather, back onto the floor for the Buffaloes.
Baldwin has won the battle of the bigs in the paint in this early going.
Here's another look.
Good catch. Vonleh just gets her arm caught inside, and the foul is called. She had that ball screen foul, or you hate to see that happen. A lot of teams don't let your post guys screen in the early part of the game because officials are trying to blow the early whistle.
Mimi Collins with the rejection. Sending Sadler.
Backline defense. It's hard to find gaps inside. Help defense gets there in a hurry. Collins with excellent timing.
And Whitaker into the game for Sadler. This is Smith on the drive, out to Weta. Weta dumped it off to Whitaker, wasn't ready, expecting a shot. It's going to be Wolfpack basketball.
Well, Weta got what you want against this type of defense, a mid-range jump shot. Right there. Pull up and shoot it. There isn't much room inside. Pack line is just what it says. They're all packed in the paint. There's 10 eyeballs ready to react to ball movement. If you can't shoot threes and reverse the ball, you have to attack it on reversals.
Final minute of this opening quarter, and River Baldwin now into double figures with 10.
She came in averaging 4 a game. Coming out party for River Baldwin.
Left jumper for Foreman. That won't fall. And Sherrod tries to save it from going out of bounds. Kind of landed awkwardly, hops up, and is just fine. A good sign for number 3 Colorado. Trailing here, 19-6.
Sherrod trying to energize her team with some plays. They need to find some offense. The Buffs slow out of the gate.
Brooks back to Collins. Collins adds 3 more. That's how we end the first quarter. Mimi Collins. It's NC State's second triple of this opening quarter, and the Wolfpack up big.
The freshman handing out dimes. Collins sliding to the open wood. NC State trying to make a rout of this early.
Any toy. Visit Jollytown in the QT app.
Mimi Collins a triple right before the horn to end the first quarter. Averages 10 a game. And is halfway there. 5 points here at the end of the first quarter. River Baldwin for NC State. She's into double figures already above her season average of points per game.
And Vonleh back in the game with 2 fouls.
Sherrod launches the jumper. Here comes Brooks. Brooks goes right to the rim and gets the bump. And one coming for the young freshman Zoe Brooks.
I talked to the radio personnel of both teams, and they both said the same thing. This game's going to come down to transition. Transition defense. Who can get the ball stopped? That time, Brooks, the freshman, straight line drive right down Main Street.
Brooks tied her career high 12 points on Friday in the victory over Cincinnati.
Brooks looks very comfortable on the court. Carries herself like an upperclassman. Trying to get touches for Vonleh.
Vonleh has to be careful with those 2 first personal fouls. And there's a block by Baldwin underneath.
Baldwin winning the battle of the bigs.
Baldwin at 6'5", Vonleh at 6'3". And here's Baldwin inside, working against Vonleh and gets the foul from behind on Foreman. As Vonleh was careful not to pick up her third.
And Vonleh walled up, hands to the ceiling. And that whistle blew, though. She had a quick look at the official, like, oh, this better not be on me.
Her second foul came with 1:07 left in the first quarter.
What has happened here, we talked about the ability to get the free throw line for NC State. They're doing it here early in this game. And their ability to score in transition. It's taken Colorado out of their game because they're a transition team. There's the board, what I call the matchup board. During timeouts, they stare at the other huddle looking for subs. It's hilarious to watch them because they take their job very serious. And every team has a matchup board guy.
Vonleh inside. As Baldwin winning her matchup in this game. There's the full court pass ahead to Hayes. And Hayes finishes again for NC State.
Too much speed on the wings. Buffs are getting burned.
9 points for Madison Hayes. Here's the jumper from Nolan. Maddie Nolan.
Long dry spell for the Buffs. Now they can set their defense. Before they were running back in transition, the ball was going over their head. And they kept Rivers under control.
And here's Rivers breaking loose. Oh, the fake pass, but an offensive foul. Miller takes the charge as Rivers gets called for the first foul against NC State this quarter.
Great rotation over by Quade Miller. This is the type of game the Rivers would excel in because of the open court. They're flying up and down, but it's been her compadres on the perimeter and inside the bigs, Baldwin, that have done all the damage.
When it turns the corner, misses the layup, gets the rebound, and throws it up top. Nolan fires the three. Nolan back-to-back baskets.
They need three-point shooting. The defense has collapsed inside. Vonleh not getting touches in her sweet spot.
Colorado has some work to do, down 18. And here's a foul on Kendall Wetta, 5'9" junior out of Castle Rock, Colorado. In 2021, Colorado 5A Player of the Year. Her mom, Valerie, played college basketball. She said, I'm born and raised in Colorado. I want to make CU a top program again. It's the foul, checks out as NC State back to work. Baldwin gets stripped. Here comes Sadler. Out to the corner. Nolan's hit the last two. Make it 3 in a row for Maddie Nolan.
Big lift off the bench. Now it's Colorado's game. They're getting stops. They can get their running game going.
In the lane, James draws the foul. That goes on Jalen Sherrod. That's her first personal. For Colorado, you have Von Lay with 2 fouls, Foreman with 2 fouls, Kendall Wett is on the bench with 2 fouls as well.
Both teams very solid in their, what I call loaded defense when they got all 5 players back. This is a game about transition baskets.
Rivers, too fast on the layup. Here comes Sherrod.
There's the speed of the Buffs.
Get it to the hot hand. Heat check, and Nolan just off on that triple try. There's Brooks in transition. Von Lay has to be careful. Oh, that might be number 3. Went with the full swipe. And picks up her 3rd foul here with 6:21 to go in the second quarter.
Got caught up in the action, tried to tie the ball up. And then a wild swing for a block puts Von Lay on the bench with 3.
Collins hits the free throw. And Baldwin and Collins have been so good inside. Mallory Collier in the game for NC State, a freshman at 6'3".
Westmore going to give Baldwin a rest. Sees the big for the Buffs go out. Von Lay is going to give his post player a rest also. So we've got the backup post going to work.
And Whitaker throws it away.
In the previous 2 games, we saw Colorado go and play through their high post. They have not been able to do it against this pack line NC State defense.
And here's a foul on Whitaker. This is free throws now. We're beyond the 5 team fouls for Colorado here in this second quarter. 5:55 on the clock. Madison Hayes checks into the game for Sanaya Rivers.
The Wolfpack makes 17 free throws a game at near 80%.
This is their 10th attempt at the free throw line today, and they are 10 for 10.
And Colorado has been there 0. The Wolfpack have been the aggressor.
James gets them both.
You cannot foul NC State. They will burn you at the line.
Sadler back to Sherrod, slicing through the lane, and the foul goes on Collier.
Better ball movement. It's difficult to drive off that initial ball screen, initial thrust. You got to move the defense before you drive the basketball. And the Wolfpack, they know, they've seen the stats on Sadler and Sherrod. They know that they struggle from the three-point line, so they're packing those defenders in.
Sherrod comes into this game, 35 assists, 19 turnovers on the year. Naismith Player of the Year watch list, preseason All-Pac-12. On the Lieberman watch list. How much is she going to have to do in this game to give Colorado a chance with Von Lay picking up 3 fouls here early on?
Well, Brad, her game is transition. If this is a half-court game and that defense is set, Sherrod's going to struggle. She is best in the open court. You've got to make stops. Now she'll push.
Back to Miller, and Miller shuffle their feet before putting it on the floor.
Colorado's anxious, trying to play too fast. A number of unforced errors. They got punched in the mouth in the first quarter. The Buffaloes, they're a little bit staggered.
Timeout on the court. 4:59 to play. NC State up big. Colorado trying to make a run. Finding a couple shots here from Maddie Nolan. We're going to need a few more as the Wolfpack are in front here in the second quarter. Five to go here in the second quarter.
The Pac-12 in their last year of existence, they are loaded on the women's side. There are 5 teams in the top 10. The AP poll. Pac-12.
And there's a travel called on Hayes. As the Buffaloes get it back. Well, today's basketball game, second all-time meeting between Colorado and NC State. Colorado winning the matchup back in 1997, 67-62. Here's Sherrod driving. And Sherrod misses the layup.
Maddie Nolan came off the bench, gave a lift to the Buffaloes.
Following her own shot, add 2 more to Isaiah James's column.
Transition baskets, second chance opportunities destroy you. They continue to go underneath the screens on Sadler and Sherrod.
Whitaker lets the 3 fly. And a foul on the rebound. I think this will go on Collins of NC State.
NC State's going to let everybody shoot the 3-point ball except Nolan. They're locked on the Nolan. Everything else below screens. Give up the 3-point shot, even the 18-foot shot. They're going to pack the middle, and therefore we have very few points in the paint for Colorado.
Baldwin back onto the floor for the Wolfpack, as is Maddie Cox, a 6'2 freshman.
As is Rivers, and they've done this with Rivers has not scored. They've racked up 35 points. Rivers still the goose egg.
Here's Sherrod inside. Whitaker finishes.
Defender goes down. Sherrod waits for the seat apart.
Sherrod's second assist in this game. There's Baldwin inside. Too strong. Whitaker ahead to Sherrod. She wants to push. Woman goes inside to Miller. Miller working against Baldwin. Good finish inside.
That was off transition. Is a secondary transition. They pushed it. Threw it out to their 3-point shooter. And right inside. They need more of that type of action for the Buffs.
Rivers still looking for her first points of this game. 0 for 5 to start for Sanaya Rivers.
Look inside. Watch her go below the ball screen.
Sherrod hits the jumper at the free throw line. Colorado now within 13.
That time the screen was deeper. It was a deeper screen, so Sherrod gets an easy 15-footer. I would keep setting the screen lower and lower if that defender's going to go below.
Baldwin on the finish. What a pass from Rivers.
You cannot mistime the jump when the ball's going to the post.
Sadler launches the 3.
They're okay
Whitaker
with that
comes up
shot.
with the offensive rebound. Now Sadler drives and gets the foul called on Rivers. That will be her second personal foul here with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Okay, here's the pack line defense. Watch the ball screen and watch what Sherrod does. The defender goes behind, Rivers goes behind. That is there all day long for the Buffaloes. And what they've done, the adjustment they made, Brad, they've taken that screener and they've dropped the screen at 18 feet down. They're doing it about 16 feet. Adjustment that the Buffaloes need to do because of the pack line defense the Wolfpack is playing.
NC State led by as many as 23. Sadler gets one of 2 free throws, and I think we're going to have more free throws here for Whitaker as the foul goes on Hayes. And for Hayes, her first personal foul. Coach Moore unhappy.
There's some good things happening here for Colorado. They're getting some stops. They're getting some looks in transition. And they're starting to figure out how to attack this defense. And, Brad, they're getting to the free throw line. They can cut this thing down going into halftime. They can feel pretty good about where they're at. And then you got Von Lake can come back and play. Free throws are huge in this basketball game. There's an unhappy coach right there.
Still fired up about this foul on the free throw.
That's 4 points. Could be a 5-point play.
Whitaker gets her own rebound off the missed free throw.
Now, watch these ball screens in the space that Sherrod has to play with.
It's a catch and shoot 3 for Nolan. Hayes goes up to get the rebound. 13-point game after the free throws for Colorado. Cox from the corner.
Here they come.
Sherrod in transition out in front of everybody. Pull-up jumper. And it's going to be last touch by Cox. It's going to be Colorado basketball here.
Now, Sherrod hit that one off the back of the rim, but that is a great shot for her. Got to 12 feet in transition. You can feel the tide turn just a little bit for the Buffs.
Well, Colorado has cut that 23-point lead down to 13 points. That's part of a 5-0 run. Here's a foul. There'll be more free throws coming. This goes on Zoe Brooks, her first. And to the free throw line goes Sherrod, an 83% free throw shooter on the year.
There's 2 ways to slow down a team that runs as well as NC State does. Number 1, you go to the free throw line and make them. You go back and set your defense, and you throw it in the post. Make them guard inside. That also helps get your defense set. So the initial punch that put Colorado on the mat, they've gotten up, and now they're punching back.
Down 11 with 1:16 to play. And Brooks throws it out of bounds. Colorado gets it right back. An opportunity to cut the lead down to single digits.
And I like this lineup that J.R. Payne has used with Nolan in, who can shoot threes, and also Frida Foreman, a three-point shooter. It's spreading out the defense more than the initial lineup they used.
Miller inside against Collins, gets blocked from behind by Baldwin. Now Brooks up ahead. Hayes turns the corner, dumps it to Baldwin. Foul called as Baldwin slams the ball down in the direction of Miller. The foul goes on Quay Miller.
We talked about that ball slam. Consider that a warning. I don't think you can go right in the post if you're Colorado off one pass. You've got to reverse it before you go inside.
Here's the dump off.
That's good officiating because you don't need to call a technical in that situation. This young woman's had the game of her life right now, River Baldwin. She is excited.
Gets them both. 16 points for River Baldwin.
She is putting up the video game numbers here in the first half.
Here's Sherrod. Too strong off the window. And a jump ball is called as Sherrod sneaks around Baldwin.
Sherrod is a competitor. She'll do all she can to get her team back in this game. But Colorado has to make better decisions on when they're going to push in transition and pull it back out. They have not run their offense very effectively. Too anxious here in the first half.
So NC State basketball, River Baldwin, a season high 16 points with 30 seconds to go here before the break. Brooks dribbling. Now in trouble. Turnaround jumper. Oh, gets it to go. Brooks right before the horn. Here comes Sherrod trying to get his shot off. Has to launch it. Gets it off just in time. But wide left. NC State, a 15-point lead, led by 23. A late charge by Colorado, and then a late basket by the freshman as the Wolfpack in front by 15.
They are led by a rookie. There's a clock in her head. Had nothing going and nothing but nylon at the end. 15-point lead here for NC State as they have had a come out of the gate strong and fast and then weathered the storm here in the second quarter.
Jalen Sherrod leading the way with 10 points for the Buffaloes, 16 points for River Baldwin. Five of 6 shooting from the floor. Also getting 9 points from Madison Hayes. And 7 from Mimi Collins. For Colorado, it's 8 points from Maddie Nolan. As alongside Coach Kevin Lehman, I am Brad Wells. Welcome you to the University of the Virgin Islands. And it was that fast start by NC State that really set the tone.
Well, Coach Moore, you couldn't ask for a better start. They got the transition game going, and they got their inside post presence established.
All right, joined now with Coach Wes Moore for NC State. Coach, talk about River Baldwin, 16 points here in that first half. She looked unstoppable.
Yeah, didn't realize she had that many, but yeah, she's playing really well right now, and that gives us a lot of balance, inside-out action, so definitely a welcome sight.
Well, Coach, you were able to score, and ability to score and stop the transition game of the Buffaloes and let you set that half-court defense, which has been stifling here in the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, you know, we let them make a run there late in the second quarter, and then we were able to, Zoe hit a big shot there at the end of the shot clock, and we were able to kind of hold it off a little. But, yeah, definitely helps, you know, get them in a little bit of foul trouble. That helped us as well. So we can't let up. You saw what they did. They made a great run at us, and I'm sure they got a couple more left in them.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck the second half.
Thank you.
That is NC State head coach Wes Moore as his Wolfpack leads it 41-26 here at the half. We'll step aside. More coming your way from the 2023 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam.
And they're perfect from the freeze line, NC State. That's what they do. Can the Colorado come out here in the second half? Can they get Vonleh established inside? Maybe play through the high post. They've got to do some things different offensively against the pack-like defense.
Erin Vonette, 3 personal fouls in that first half. Also, her and Quay Miller, just 2 of 11 combined from the floor. And while we're here at halftime, we're going to go over to the beach zone and welcome in a special guest from the U.S. Virgin Islands Parks and Rec Division. Calvert White joining us. Calvert, thanks a lot for being with us here today and helping bring the Paradise Jam to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Just talk about, for you, with the Parks and Rec Division, what's your role in some of these bigger sporting events and the sports scene here on the islands?
Well, first of all, I want to say what a great way to spend Thanksgiving vacation. You got 2 top 10 teams fighting it out. Number 3 versus number 10. I look forward for Colorado going in the half, coming back out. I'm sure they're going to regroup. But great basketball for the local fans to watch and see.
Now, there's been some great attendance here at these basketball games. I know even when Coach Lehman and I were leaving late last night after number 12 Texas's game, there was a lot of cars that were still leaving the lot here.
Yeah, we know once this time of year, the fans come out, we get to see great basketball. We get to see visitors come in, and we get to show our hospitality, and that's what it's about. That's what the people is about. And we just want to encourage not just basketball fans, but any sporting event that when you're looking for your next destination, the U.S. Virgin Islands is the place to be.
Well, Calvert, in between games, I saw a couple of young fans, two little girls that were shaking hands, taking pictures with some of the players here. What's it mean to bring 8 Division I programs to the U.S. Virgin Islands? You did it a week ago with the men's tournament and this week with the women's tournament.
Yeah, we know around this time of the year it's very cold in the mainland, so we're welcoming the fans to come down and not just enjoy basketball, but like I said, enjoy the beaches, enjoy the local fans, the local food, and that's just who the people are, the Virgin Islands. We welcome everybody with open arms, and we love that there's a lot of fans coming here and enjoying the game.
Look, Albert, you played at SEMO, correct?
That's correct.
All right, for someone that goes and talks to former teammates, trips like this, no matter where you go, these are just memories for a lifetime for these players, aren't they?
Absolutely. I remember traveling to Puerto Rico and a couple other places across seas when I played. For the players, for some of them, this might be the only time they do get to travel overseas, but you get to do a lot of team bonding, and you get to see something that you don't see every day from where your home state is. So we welcome them. We hope they soak up this experience, and we hope that they do return after this basketball trip is done.
We've talked to a number of players, all the coaches. Everyone says exactly those same things. Great for team bonding, but memories of a lifetime made here at the U.S. Virgin Islands. Calvert, thanks a lot for joining us here at halftime. Calvert White, Commissioner of the Parks and Rec Division for the U.S. Virgin Islands. We will step aside. A 15-point game here at the half, and his top 10 medal. It's number 10, NC State with the lead over third-ranked Colorado. 20 minutes to play for the 2023 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam Championship game. NC State.
Yeah, Rivers has not scored, and she's had some great games this tournament. Sherrod's trying to will her team here to get back in this game and the victory. In the post, we thought it was going to be Bonlay with the advantage. Got a foul early. Baldwin has been sensational with 16 points. And the bench was something else we're looking at too, Brad.
Yep.
And off the bench, Zoe Brooks has been phenomenal for NC State. She's done that the entire tournament. Maddie Nolan, a big lift for Colorado when she came and knocked in some threes.
And started that run when Colorado started to cut into that at one time 23-point lead for NC State. Let's take a look at some of our highlights from our opening 20 minutes as NC State got it to Baldwin for the first basket. And man, Baldwin was so effective in the first few minutes.
Transition baskets, that one a trail jumper as she got an early layup. And then she just goes to work in the post. A little bit of a chicken wing hook. No call. She's going to take the points. 16. Dump down, good and selfish play by Rivers, who has not scored. Bonlay has struggled inside to seal and score. Defense, interior, that pack line defense, second defender running at the ball. They have really swallowed this up. Nolan comes off the bench and gives a huge lift for the Buffaloes.
She had 3 baskets in a row, including that triple from the corner right in front of the NC State bench.
Sherrod loading up Nolan as the Buffs try to get the transition game going, but it's been all transition NC State in this first half. They have got out and done a great job of running. And even though Rivers hasn't scored, she is feeding the post, doing a great job of getting touches for the bigs.
6 assists in that first half for Sanaya Rivers, even though she has no points on 0 for 5 shooting. Here's a look at your team statistics after the first 2.
A little surprising that Colorado has struggled to shoot the ball like they have, but the pack line defense has made it difficult for them to run their offense. They've struggled from the 3. No one has given them a lift there. And NC State is winning the turnover battle. We thought this would be a lot about who can get open court baskets, and that's what we're seeing in the first half. Look at the points off turnovers, Brad.
13-6 in favor of the Wolfpack. Start of the third quarter. When we come back, 41-26 at the break. The winner wins the Island Tournament of the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. Paradise, the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. 10th ranked NC State. A red hot start in the first quarter. Shooting into the beach zone. Miller misses the first shot as Colorado attempts a three on possession number one.
Horn set. They tried to step out and get a three ball for Miller on that.
There's Baldwin attacking. Shoots over Rivers. Offensive rebound by Miller. Put back won't fall as Baldwin took a tough spill. Heading back to the defensive end of the floor.
Vonleh playing with 3 fouls. Has to be careful.
And NC State attacks her. They know she has to be careful.
Great point, Brad. I'd go right inside, put the pressure on Vonleh. She's averaging 18 a game. Only had 2 in the first half.
0 for 2 from the outside to start for Colorado. They were 0 for 6 from three-point land in the first quarter when NC State opened up a 22-6 lead. And how about more from River Baldwin, as this is a career high now for the fifth-year senior out of Alabama. There's Vonleh, draws the foul on Baldwin.
One way to slow down Baldwin is attack her at the defensive end and get her in foul problems. But I've been impressed by what NC State has done in that first 2 possessions. Rivers brings it down. Unselfish play, feeds the post. They get 4 quick baskets, 4 quick points from that post play.
Coach, I ran into River Baldwin down. There's a little shop just outside the lobby at the Wested Resort where they're housing all the teams here. The Paradise Jam. She was getting a cup of coffee. I asked her if she has like a pregame drink. She says, no, I usually go to Starbucks for a pregame drink on game day, though. She may be looking for the closest Virgin Islands Roasters the rest of the season.
I went down and tried to get some ice cream, and the freezer was broke. It was all melted.
Well, maybe NC State, the red hot start.
Nice
first
rebound by
half.
Baldwin.
Sadler knocks it away. Last touch by Baldwin.
Westmore's strategy in the second half. We're going to attack Aronette Vonleh and make her play defense. Let's see if the Buffs think the same thing. Let's try to attack the big for NC State.
They do go inside. Vonleh working against Baldwin, and Baldwin rips it away from Sadler to avoid the jump ball. Here comes James all the way to the rim. James lays it in. Her second field goal of the game, has 6 points. James has been excellent in this tournament as well. 7 points, 8 rebounds on Thursday against Kentucky. Oh, and 5 assists in that game. Here's Miller, left it short.
Those size inside, those extra defenders are really giving problems for Buffalo's inside game.
Back to Baldwin, blocked by Sadler. Vonleh with the rebound. Foreman for 3, it's good. Colorado connects from the outside.
NC State's going to collapse into the paint. A walk-up 3.
Foreman on the career list for most threes made in Colorado history. Leads the team this season once again.
Vonleh almost picked up another foul, and
Rivers another assist.
Picks up a dime. Nice play.
Coach, she's on track for a double-double, and she has 0 points. How about 6 rebounds, 7 assists?
We talked to some WNBA scouts, and this is the person in this tournament they have their eye on.
And foul called on Sadler. This may be an intentional foul called on Sadler as Rivers went up.
Well, this is off a steal. We talk about transition points, trying to reach across and get the ball, but both arms.
And it is, yeah. You might be good at just that left arm coming down, but that right arm that wraps around the back.
And that was a good call.
To the free throw line, Rivers, her first point of the game comes here at the 6:21 mark.
And you shake it off that shoulder that she, as you mentioned, has affected the game in so many ways other than scoring.
Gets 1 of 2 at the line. 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, a block. And her Wolfpack leads it by 20 over number 3 Colorado. Andy Nolan in the game for Sadler for Colorado. And a travel violation called on Rivers. Sherrod creates a stop, trying to do all she can.
To bring Vonleh to the high post. They have not done that direct feed the high post with the X off of Vonleh. And she is giving up 2 inches to her counterpartner, Baldwin.
This is going to be an offensive foul on Miller. Wave off the three-point basket by Foreman. As Miller called for her second personal foul on the illegal screen up top. Number 3, Colorado at sea level. A mountain to climb here in the second half. Trailing 10th ranked NC State by 20.
Trying to high-low look at Baldwin in the post again, but Vonleh is able to shove her out.
Rivers off the mark. Offensive rebound for Hayes. 2 more for Madison Hayes.
Hayes
double
anticipated
figures.
that miss, got inside position.
There's Vonleh. That's where she gets her points in transition.
Her first basket in transition. Sherrod finds her over the top. Baldwin's got to get inside.
James for 3. James is good.
High level score. Cannot go below the screen and cannot give her any space. A rhythm shooter.
You talked about Isaiah James in the open and Sherrod on the miss. Rivers left it short. Rebound goes over to Sherrod.
Vonleh running again, trying to get early post position. Sherrod's going to push it, then pull it back out.
There's Vonleh.
Not
Shoots
her
it from
shot.
the elbow. Miller will fire the 3, and that's good. That's the 4-3 for Colorado on 18 attempts.
Nolan with the hustle rebound results in an extra 3. This was going to be a runaway. Big basket. NC
Rivers.
State really trying to post up. Now they're running their horns. It's going to end up with a high-low look.
Rivers resets. There's a jumper. First field goal of the game for Sanaya Rivers.
Mid-range rise up by Rivers. Unguardable.
Sherrod drug the pivot foot. Going back the other way. 3:27 to play. Timeout on the floor. The Wolfpack up 22.
There is the pick and roll play to perfection. Now Rivers gets the screen. Splashes it through. NC State keeping this at 20 plus.
Live.
Here's a look at your leading scorers in this battle of the top tens. Sherrod with 10 for Colorado. River Baldwin so efficient. Look at 9 for 10, Coach. 8 points here in the third quarter, and Hayes with 11.
River Baldwin is having a game of her life. And that's what you got number 3 against number 10. Usually someone that you don't expect is the difference maker in this team in these types of games. It's Baldwin today.
Maddie Nolan, Kendall Wetta on the floor for Colorado, as well as Sarah Rose Smith. Here's Rivers, her second field goal of the game. She has 5 points, a quick slash to the basket.
Starting to get in her groove. There was assists in the first half, and now she's looking more for points.
Nolan, step back jumper, no offensive rebound. And Wetta's going to get called for a foul on the board.
Colorado has completely forgotten about their inside game. Whether it is Miller or Vonleh, they are not trying to score in the paint, settling.
Coach, Colorado started the season with a win over then number 1 LSU. This NC State team with a win over then number 2 UConn. A big matchup here, this top 10 battle. Power conferences and NC State. That first quarter, man, they just took control and said, we're not looking back. Vonleh whistled for the travel.
Well, having a bad day at the office of Vonleh. But if you look back at that box score of NC State's win over UConn, got to the free throw line, dominated from the line. They did that here in the first half as they were perfect on free throws.
Hayes draws the foul on Maddie Nolan.
Hayes, Brooks off the bench. James, they've all been good for NC State. The perimeter players have excelled. Very few turnovers, very few bad decisions, and they hit big shots.
Because that game against UConn, it took 33 points from Sanaya Rivers to get the win, and in the first half, it was everybody except Sanaya Rivers.
This team has a very good balance, the Wolfpack.
There's Foreman for 3. Rattles that one home. Foreman with her second three-pointer of the game. 6 points for Frida. Minute 30 left here in the third quarter.
And see how spread out this Colorado defense is compared to what we see the Wolfpack do with their pack line.
Rivers left side. 3-point try. No. For James, the putback. And Hayes grabs her ankle as she goes down, but up and running down the floor.
There's the push, but nobody's running in the post for the Buffs.
This is a foul on Rivers. And with 1:04 on the clock here in the third, Colorado basketball. Rivers, her third personal foul, I believe. This is Brooks applying that defensive pressure. Kick back, Foreman, another 3. That one's too strong. Nolan will try. And here's a foul. We're going to stay here. This foul goes on Collier.
I watched Collier in that possession. She was really badly for position. I don't agree with that call. That was a late whistle. Now they're saying she grabbed her arm. That was outside my vision.
Here's another look here.
There's Collier. She got caught underneath.
Arms were hooked.
I liked her effort, though, and she was working that backside block. Really good post play for the Wolfpack. They've been deep at the 5 spot. They've all produced.
Foreman pull-up jumper from the baseline. And Foreman with 8 points for the Buffaloes.
Wolfpack icing those side ball screens, pushing the baseline. Foreman with the quick pull-up prior to the help side defense getting there.
It's a 5th team foul against Colorado with 34 seconds to go in the third. Sanaya Rivers will step to the free throw line.
There's a term you use in basketball, KYP, know your personnel. NC State's preparation for this game has been excellent. They know who they're going to guard at the three-point line. They know which screens are going to go below at certain players. They did a great job on Von Lay and keeping her off her sweet spots and sending doubles in there. And the ability to get your players to understand the scouting report. This is a very high intelligent team, NC State, to absorb all that information in a short turnaround. They have been excellent throughout this game.
Wolfpack lead back to 23. Offensive foul called on Colorado. That's going to end the day for Kendall Wetta. Has come off the bench, and that is her 5th personal foul, and she will check out. Jalen Sherrod into the game. Wetta, really good first 2 days here at the Paradise Jam coming off the bench.
It was a big spark for the Buffaloes. Getting steals and tips. They sent her in there in this first quarter to try to get some energy for Colorado. But a short night for Wetta. How come they always put the ball in the hands of this freshman in the shot clock? Because she makes good decisions.
3-pointer from James left short, and that is how we end the third quarter. Number 10, NC State, still looking strong against number 3, Colorado. As the Buffaloes try and shoot their way back in this one, it is the Wolfpack with an answer every time.
Short range jump shot. They need some points in the post.
Well, the Wolfpack tied for 10th in the AP poll, 10th or 11th. Beat number 2 UConn at home. Rivers and Collins on those national watch list. Collins, the Katrina McLean watch list. Sanaya Rivers, Naismith Trophy preseason watch list. As Hayes the double-double yesterday against Cincy. 6 different players with 10 or more points. Coach, you've talked about the depth you continue to see from this NC State team.
The recruiting class has been exceptional. 2023 recruiting class, that's that freshman class that has in it Zoe Brooks, who's been spectacular in this tournament with the ball in her hands right there. They were ranked number 4 in the nation, and they're bringing the class next year ranked in the top 10 also, as Westmore continues to bring talent into Raleigh, North Carolina.
Westmore, the 2021 National Coach of the Year. 3 straight ACC tournaments, 2020, 2021, and 2022. Foreman with another 3. That's her 3rd triple of the game. She's into double figures and now leads Colorado in scoring with 11.
Foreman trying to bring this team back. They're relying on the outside game. They have not attacked and scored in the paint, and that was their MO coming into this game. How many paint touches can the Buffaloes get? There's some great inside-out action.
There's the answer. Mimi Collins, the triple.
Not only can River Baldwin score it, she can pass it out of the post.
There's Nolan off the screen. Coach of Colorado's gonna have any kind of a chance. They have to hit threes this 4th quarter here.
Well, they got to score inside, and then you're going to get fouled and get the free throw line and score some points with the clock up. I don't know if I like chucking the threes. They're chucking and chasing right now.
Brooks traveled with it, gives it back.
Now Von Lay back in. Let's see if they go inside. You gotta like the three, but you gotta love the paint. Get it inside. Put some pressure on River Baldwin. You got a big time scorer right there in Von Lay. Get her some touches. Let her get to her sweet spot.
Von Lay just 5 points. There's the feed inside from Von Lay to Miller. The double team comes. The wraparound. It's another rebound for Baldwin. How about 24 points? 8 rebounds for River Baldwin.
NC State has swarmed the block when the ball has gone in there. So much so they can't even pass it back out. I have been so impressed by their defense.
Shot clock down to 3. The drive, the lay in, yes, that is Isaiah James.
James wired to score the basketball.
4 NC State players in double figures and an illegal screen called on Aaronette Von Lay. And that is number 4 on Von Lay.
Watch this screen. Watch James. She's going to hit the screen. She calls the offensive foul before she hits the ground. Watch number 10. Yeah, we're going that way.
She does so much. She's got a great basketball IQ, makes so many plays.
Oh, that's big time right there.
And she can hit jumpers too.
I love her game. It's just silky smooth. You can't speed her up. And she's going to make a good official because she made that call on that last play.
13 points for James. Von Lay, the kick out.
Madison Hayes has really been, she's on the bench right now, but she has quietly had a great game for the Wolfpack.
Foreman stepped on the baseline, turns it over.
What'll be interesting when the new AP poll comes out to see what type of movement we have, especially with this Wolfpack team. This is a dominating performance at both ends of the court.
As Brooks gets blocked by Foreman.
Well, Brooks gets blocked, but she gets her own miss back.
Wave the basket off a travel called on Collins, and Collins will check out Maddie Cox, the freshman, into the game. Collins, the graduate, with 10 points and 3 rebounds here.
She is a great compliment to River Baldwin. As Baldwin gains more and more confidence, which this game will give her, that is an excellent front line in the ACC.
Talked about the movement in the top 10. Here's Sherrod off the window, draws the foul, will go to the line. South Carolina, UCLA, Colorado, Stanford, those 4 unbeatens were up at the top. Then you have 1-loss teams in Iowa, UConn, LSU, USC unbeaten, a couple 1-loss teams in front of NC State. You can easily see NC State jump up to number 5 or
no
higher.
Question. This is, I don't have a vote in it, but they're going to be moving, and it won't be the opposite direction. But here's another problem that you have if you're Colorado. They are giving other teams the blueprint on how to defend this Colorado team. It has been outstanding game preparation and the way they defended certain personnel and stagnated the offense. This is a high-powered Buffalo offense, and it has been running with a flat tire.
On the game, just shooting 28% from the floor. And that's 17 turnovers now given up by Colorado as they take one back. Out to Sadler, shoots the 3. And rebounded. Last touch by James.
NC State had a game plan. They were not going to guard Sadler or Sherrod at the 3-point line. Went below every screen, jammed up the middle. And that makes, when you do that, Brad, And a great OB play there. When you do that, it allows you to go double quicker because your defense is more compacted and you can get there. Therefore, Vonleh had no room to operate in the first quarter.
Combined, Sherrod and Sandler 0 for 4 from the outside. Miller with the steal.
Well, they came to this tournament a combined 0 for 16.
Foul called on Steele. And it'll be Colorado ball underneath as Rivers comes back in. Isaiah James checks out.
James is putting together a spectacular stat line in this game. She walks out. She's got 9 points.
We got her for 13 points.
With
6 rebounds.
5 rebounds. Your screen's updating faster than mine, there, partner. You're the tech guy on this crew.
Give it a refresh, coach.
There it went. I was about a quarter behind.
70-49, number 10, NC State leading number 3, Colorado. They were the championship game of the Island Tournament.
Came out of the gate fast and never let up.
And it started with that young lady, River Baldwin, the 6'5 graduate out of Andalusia, Alabama. Started her career at Florida State, played 3 seasons there. We'll talk about her on the backside of this break. NC State up 21 here in the championship game of the Paradise Jam, and the second top 10 test this year for both Colorado and the Wolfpack.
St. Croix, Avail, Lenoir.
A matchup of top 10 teams favoring NC State with 4:41 to play here in this fourth quarter as the ACC will grab its first win over the Pac-12 this season. Pac-12, a conference, 8 teams coming into today currently undefeated, 3 others with just 1 loss. As UCLA took down UConn yesterday. Stanford got the win over Florida State, but Colorado is going to receive their first loss of the year as Stanford defeated Duke and Florida State earlier this year. That's your other Pac-12 matchups with the ACC this season. NC State, tremendous balance and a fast start. A lot of River Baldwin as she gets blocked by Vonleh. 26 points, 8 rebounds for River Baldwin.
It's been a lot of Rivers to River. As Nia Rivers has a number of assists feeding River Baldwin inside. Rivers showing the point guard skills.
Another triple here as Frida Foreman continues to knock in what she can. That's her 4th 3.
And she's found those in transition. That time running the middle lane was Quine Miller, and that opened up that wing shot. We've gotten a few of those. There's another one of Rivers to River. The Rivers are flowing today. And I keep talking about this NC State defense. Colorado on the season shooting 52% from the field. Today they were held to 29% by this Wolfpack defense.
They came out hungry and they made things difficult. Baldwin, missed the easy one. And a foul on the rebound try goes on Miller.
That may have been the easiest shot she's had this entire game. River Baldwin 9 for 10, now 9 for 11.
Kevin, tremendous build-up here with this top 10 team. And this battle between the two top 10 teams. He had a win over number 1, LSU for Colorado. The win over number 2, UConn for NC State. But this Wolfpack team really impressed you as Baldwin checks out. Big round of applause from the Wolfpack fan in attendance here.
That is just a superior game by River Baldwin. We talked about a lot of matchups getting ready for this game. That's one we didn't. Well, we thought that the Buffaloes had the advantage there with Aaronette Vonleh, but River Baldwin had a different idea and started right at the very beginning, scoring inside and running the court, and then got Vonleh in the early foul problems.
And there's Sanaya Rivers checking out. 7 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists.
Really good floor game.
Sherrod goes hard right at Maddie Cox. Draws the foul.
Say, there's a tough kid there. 0-0. I'd take her on my team any day.
Jalen Sherrod, 14 points, 4 assists. Just 2 turnovers in this game. The ball has been in her hands a ton, as Coach Payne has a good one right there. And Jalen Sherrod.
Sherrod's tried everything to get her team going. Defensive pressure, pushing it in the break, scoring at mid-range. Trying to will her team back in this, but the margin was too much to overcome. And you know what I like about Brooks? No matter what happens in the court, never changes expression.
This is it back to Cox. 3-pointer no good. Another rebound for Sherrod.
Brooks get a bad call, hit a turnaround jumper, contested, no matter what happens, never changes expression. Tremendous focus.
Jalen Sherrod, jumper is good. 18 points now for Sherrod. How about 12 assists in the tournament here at the Paradise Jam for Sherrod?
She's been really good. Really good. But the defensive scheme by Westmore and his staff, outstanding.
Steele finds the opening, lays it in.
Too little, too late.
Sherrod, another jumper, hits 20 points for Colorado.
Empty calories. She knows it's over.
Coach, 4 different players hit double figures for NC State, led by Baldwin's 26. The balance you've talked about a lot. The defense, the most impressive thing, though, to you?
I think it was, the defense, because it started their transition game, Brad. They made the stops, and remember how much they got out in the first quarter on the fast break, and a lot of that had to do with Rivers leading that break.
All right, we'll be back for the final minute. 6 after this. 10th ranked NC State ready to close out number 3 Colorado here, the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam Island Tournament Championship game.
We've been living it since day one. Nothing held back. All for the love of soccer.
The championship game of the U.S. Virgin Islands Island Tournament. The top 10 matchup, and it has been all NC State from the start. As the final minute of this one winds down is just a formality. Whitaker tracking down the rebound. Will lose it out of bounds.
in this game for the championship of the Island Tournament Division.
Colorado, NC State both facing Cincinnati and Kentucky on Thursday and Friday. Both getting.
And that'll be our next
Good
game. Cincy and Kentucky playing for the third place of the Island Division of this tournament.
It was really dominant wins by NC State and Colorado in both days.
Certainly, that's why we expectation for this huge matchup.
Zoe Brooks is going to be fun to watch, ladies and gentlemen.
I told you, never changes expression. Another day at the office for Brooks.
It's Michaela Johnson, the redshirt freshman, putting it in out of Anchorage, Alaska. And Brooks will dribble this one out. Final score is going to be 78-60, an 18-point win for number 10, NC State. The Wolfpack take care of number 3, Colorado, as the Buffaloes pick up their first loss of the season.
Impressive. You mentioned it, Brad, right out of the gate, the opening tip. Their defense, the pack line, kept the ball out of the middle. Von Lay struggled all day. And that defense started their fast break, put a lot of pressure on the Buffaloes defense, and he's just able to roll that over quarter after quarter after quarter.